Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's Thursday, it's time for a quick Disney Plus News Roundup, where I'm going to be talking about the brand new Ahsoka series, also be talking about Doctor Who and the new Bear Grylls series, all that and more. But make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Let's kick things off talking about Ahsoka, a brand new series that's going to be coming to Disney Plus this summer. Now, back at Star Wars Celebration, we got the first teaser trailer for the show, and it was announced that it'll be coming in August. It has now been confirmed that the very first episode will be arriving on Wednesday the 23rd of August. New episodes dropping weekly, 8 episodes, so that will see us right through and until mid-October. So lots of great stuff to be looking forward to. I think this is pretty good timing, because that means like when Secret Invasion ends, you kind of got like a couple of weeks break. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. Though interestingly, if it goes with the 8-week run, that means it will sort of slightly overlap with the beginning of Loki. But that's not necessarily a bad thing with the amount of shows coming up this coming winter. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to watching this show. Hopefully we find out a little bit more about it in the coming weeks and months ahead, because it's still a way off, you know, and the release date could change. Disney have done this in the past. I mean, we've got, what, like 2 months really until it arrives, but there's plenty of time in the meantime to watch Secret Invasion, which obviously starts later this month. But are you excited about Ahsoka? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about the Doctor Who series, which BBC and Disney are working on together, because they have revealed that Bonnie Langford is going to be returning as a legendary role of Melanie Bush in the upcoming new season of Doctor Who. And this time she'll be starring alongside Ncuti Gatwa, who plays the 15th Doctor in the new series, which is going to be returning in November with 3 special episodes with David Tennant as the 14th Doctor. And then when that kicks in at the festive time, we'll then get Ncuti Gatwa taking over. Now, I think it's interesting the fact that she has been brought back. I think it's definitely a great way for them to kind of combine the old series with the new one. I think that's one of the best things about Doctor Who. It's got a long legacy, because she actually originally debuted back in this series back in 1986 with Colin Baker, went on to become also the sidekick for Sylvester McCoy, who's kind of like, that was the Doctor Who that I watched when I was a kid. So I think this is kind of quite interesting, because I remember watching all of this. She also most recently appeared in the later season, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, just more Doctor Who stuff is great. I'm really looking forward to watching it when it arrives. David Tennant is definitely my favourite Doctor, so seeing the 3 specials kind of leading into Ncuti Gatwa taking over, I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah, so we're going to be seeing this one on the BBC here in the UK, and then the rest of the world is going to be on Disney Plus. But if you're looking forward to the return of Bonnie in Doctor Who, let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about the 2nd season of National Geographic's Running Wild with Bear Grylls, The Challenge, which is going to be returning on July the 9th with new episodes on the channel. No word yet on how this one's going to be released on Disney Plus, whether they're going to be doing all the episodes at once, if they're going to wait till it's all out. You know what it's like with National Geographic, they can't seem to make their mind up of how they're actually going to do a release schedule for this one, and whether or not when it arrives internationally is always a little bit of a pain with National Geographic because of all the existing contracts. But the new season looks a lot of fun, a lot of people in here which you'll obviously recognise from a number of different Disney projects right now, including She-Hulk herself, Tatiana Maslany. You've also got in there Bradley Cooper, Benedict Cumberbatch, David Diggs, a whole host of different people, including Russell Brand. That kind of seemed a bit strange, but nevertheless, let me know if you are excited about the return of Running Wild with Bear Grylls. I always enjoy this show. I always think it's pretty cool, but let me know in the comments below. And let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. So the big new release is a brand new episode of The Kardashians for the 3rd season. This is on Hulu in the United States, Star Plus in Latin America, and also on Disney Plus around the world. In this new episode, we get to see kind of Kim having struggles in Italy when she goes out to kind of work with Dolce & Gabbana, and then she doesn't have a stylist, and you kind of look at this and you're kind of thinking, these people are not living in the real world. We also get to see a whole host of other issues that are going on right now with Courtney, for example, struggling to deal with sort of the surrogacy of her child. You also get to see Courtney dealing with the whole thing of after her wedding and just kind of falling in line with what she's loving to do. So I really enjoyed this series. Me and my wife watched it. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. If it's a reality TV series, if you don't like it, and I know there's a lot of people that don't, but it definitely pulls in a big audience, and they definitely do not seem to be on planet Earth. But if for some reason you just can't keep watching it, but there we go. Let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. And now let's jump into our comment of the day. Joe asks, could we get an article or even a video of shows or films you recommend would be removed from Disney Plus in the next phase of removals? So in terms of removals, we don't yet know officially what's going to be happening, because Disney are looking to cut about another $400 million worth of content by the end of this quarter, which is at the end of this month. Hopefully we find out pretty soon. I think generally we're going to be kind of checking out the French site Canal Plus, which is an aggravator and a kind of a major streaming platform in France. And I think there's some rules in France that they actually have to give notice that things are going to be removed. And whereas obviously we know with Disney Plus they don't tend to do so. So that's obviously an issue. So what do I kind of recommend if you're thinking that something might be removed? I would definitely say if a show has been cancelled recently, it's probably very high up on the chance that it could get written off. Maybe something like The Company You Keep, Alaska Daily, Kindred. Those ones definitely stand out as being maybe potential things that maybe if you want to watch them or you haven't finished watching them, I'd get on it now. National Treasure Edge of History is not going to be returning for a second season, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if that one got the cull as well. Again, not guaranteeing any of this stuff. These are just my pure guesses. So that one would be in there. Whether or not we see some, maybe some things that maybe like didn't quite hit right, like A History of the World Part 2. That seemed to kind of came back earlier this year and kind of fizzled and didn't seem to do what maybe they were hoping. So just a pure guess, that one maybe didn't perform as well and it looked quite expensive, the amount of guest stars and stuff they had in it. But who knows on this one. So yeah, so those would definitely be my list. Now with this kind of next wave of removals, like I said, it's about $400 million, which is obviously a lot of money. But if you look at what they removed last month, that was $1.5 billion. So this new one is going to be less than a third. So we saw about 90 to 100 different titles removed. So maybe 30 titles. But if they're a bit more expensive, that might cut into some of the smaller ones. I definitely feel like, you know, we may be more likely going to leave, again, some of maybe the Latin American shows because they can license them out in other platforms from Star Plus because, you know, it seems like very strange that they seem to have really kind of hit a lot of the Latin American stuff. So maybe that's something that they're going to work on there. Whether or not we get any other international originals, they seem to kind of got spared last time. But who knows? It's very interesting to see how all this comes together. I think that's a little bit more tricky with, they might want to keep some of them in place to kind of fulfill like the European quota. That might be a little bit of an issue. But so yeah, that's kind of my recommendations. I definitely want to check. I would say check them out. As far as like what they did, a really kind of deep cut on what they've done so far. Maybe some more original documentaries and stuff from like Hulu might be in line. But yes, yeah, very much kind of guessing game at the minute. But let me know, what do you think is going to get removed in this next wave? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.